Welcome to Crawl Walk Run. Today I'm going to be talking about the first 30 days as a product manager. I believe those first 30 days are the most nerve-wracking days in a product manager's life because you're starting off with a new product, you have the zeal to do something, and you want to contribute as soon as possible. You want to show yourself as a value add to the organization, but not having the right structure to follow in the first 30 days can just take your trajectory down. You can feel really incompetent at times if you're not able to deliver quickly. So I'm going to share with you 7 tips that have helped me as a product manager whenever I'm starting off on a new product, new team, new organization. And I hope these 7 tips help you as well. Tip number 1: when you read, you research, and you make notes. So when I read, I have a particular section that I always try to fill. I want to know about the market, the customer, the partner, the product, technology, compete, team, and processes, and everything, every literature I read, and it could be watching YouTube videos, Wikipedia, internal documentation, maybe interviewing candidates or interviewing customers or listening to customers who've already been interviewed. I'm going to put all my content into these 8 sections. As I take these notes, I want to make sure that these 8 sections get populated. I don't write more than 1 page per bullet point, which means typically it's an 8-page document for the 8 bullet points. Point number 2, as I write my section, I try to add my own perspective. Let's say I'm reading about market and I feel that we have not delved deep into the market, or maybe we're looking at the market from a different perspective. I will add those perspectives as and when I go. Point number 3, ask questions. There's no way on earth that you're starting off with a product with the first 30 days and you exactly know what you have to build. You will take time to understand what needs to be built, how it needs to be built. Therefore, as you complete your document, keep adding questions. I generally keep adding questions in red so that I know that those are unanswered questions, and without answering those questions, my perspective is not complete. And then once you have your questions written down, ask those questions. Do not feel shy of asking something that you may even consider as dumb questions, but ask those questions because this is your golden period. Your team knows, your organization knows, your product knows that you are new. Therefore, you are entitled to ask as many questions as possible in order to build your perspective of the market, the customer, the product, whatever the case may be. One very important thing, measure yourself. This research work, especially the learning curve, can go very deep. You can spend hours and hours and days together to understand technology, right? Measure yourself. Try to put timelines in perspective. For example, I typically say that this 8-pager should be completed within the first 1.5 week, which means first 7 days. And after that, while I'm doing that, I should be having the questions in line. I should have identified the key personas or the key people within my product or team whom I need to engage with. And I should have set up meetings with them to understand all unanswered questions. So I try to get it done in the first 2.5 weeks, and by the end of 3rd week, or maybe the middle of 4th week, I am productive. I'm able to write my product strategy documents or my product specification documents. I need to be productive by the end of 4 weeks so that I am ahead of the curve, because if you are slow, your entire team becomes slow. So put timelines, measure yourself against those first 30 days, what do you want to achieve, and then have that bias towards action so that you're able to complete things. Another very important thing, be vulnerable but persevere. Historically, in those 30 days, what happens with me is I'm going to be proposing a lot of things as I build my perspective, and a lot of things that I propose will be shot down because maybe I don't have the big picture. But even as your ideas are shot down, or even as people are maybe telling you that, hey, your questions are kind of silly, do not give up. Keep persevering, because every time you are trying to propose something and you are being told that this is not a good idea, you are gaining more perspective, you're understanding more. It's very important for you to build great products. It is even more important for you to not invest in products that will not make the light of the day. Therefore, be vulnerable. Continue to share your perspectives. and continue to persevere. If you may find yourself in those conversations thinking that you're not adding enough value, but that's all right, value will come, but keep persevering. Another important point, be on the dance floor and not on the balcony. What it means is, as you're building these perspectives, as you're writing and researching, uh, try to come up with your own proposals. Maybe question the status quo, think out of the box. Why are products being built the way they've been built historically? Try to come up with a completely new or innovative solution. You don't need to be run of the mill. You don't need to be complying with everything that is happening. Keep that at the back of your mind, because you can't be an observer and just understanding what is happening. You need to be an observer while you're also preparing yourself to be on the dance floor and perform. Therefore, be comfortable in critiquing what's happening. Be comfortable in questioning the status quo, and be comfortable in proposing something of your own, because your leadership wants to hear your perspective. You're the new product owner, right? Last but not the least, don't overburden yourself. These first 30 days are very critical for you to gain an understanding for a very long-term strategy that you're going to be having with your product. You are investing in yourself. Unless you've put the foundation for these 30 days well, the scaffolding will not hold the product together. These are those foundation days. So do not try to pick up a lot of other engagements, a lot of other deliverables, a lot of other things that you may wish to do. These 30 days are critical. Try to be as focused as possible, because this requires a collaboration at a totally new scale, because you're trying to meet everyone who could be influencing your product, maybe some customers, maybe some partners, trying to understand from on the technical side. There's just so much to happen. Those 30 days are crucial for you to build a perspective on your product, and that is what your aim should be. Remember, if the pillars are strong, the building will be stronger. These 30 days, you're constructing those pillars for your building. So ensure that you constructively invest time in understanding that, so that in future you are able to build a product which can stand the winds. I hope you found this information useful. If you have your own tips in order to manage the first 30 days of your product development lifecycle, please share with me. Until then, thank you so much.